We've been visiting this morning with Don and Dean talking about the creative process. Each of these gentlemen created a unique and effective lure. In Dean's case, the WiggleFin. Don's case, the Old Goat, which is a plug type lure that no one had ever seen before, very unique. And Dean, tell us a little bit about the creative process. What goes into coming up with a new product like the WiggleFin or the Swarm flashers that you've done?
It starts with the visualization of what you're trying to achieve, and then really, honestly, you just start tinkering and gathering materials that you can approximate that, with for prototyping.
You mentioned for the WiggleFin, the original WiggleFin, which you still have, you actually used the cup of a contact lens holder?
Yeah, it's a disposable contact lens, the little packaging that it comes in. When I said you start sourcing materials for it, I'm looking for something that has an approximate size and approximate shape that will work for a prototype, in a prototype situation. So yeah, the cup came from the disposable case, and then the stem portion of the action disc on the back of it was a chunk of the tube from a WD-40 can that was, jammed into it and kind of epoxied in on the inside. And then, once you get to that point in prototyping and it works, you've got that proof of concept, then you can start into development.
Yeah.
The advent now of technology has made things different, easier. But I still do that though. I mean, I don't have time to, I'm like, I want to see this concept play out, and I don't care if it's made out of plywood if I can prove the concept.
To your point about technology, now we have 3D printing, which that takes us over to Don here. And Don, your creative process came up with the Old Goat lure.
Right.
How did that evolve in your mind and develop into an actual product?
So we'd picked up a 3D printer to just tinker with at the house, and in 2014 I'd lost my job, and I have a passion for technology and a passion for fishing, and I thought, well, let's see if we can create a lure. And just as Dean talked about visualization being the starting point, that's where we started, with the concept. And I would 3D print a dozen lures and go out to the livestock trough next to our barn.
Yep.
Start running those lures. If the action looked good, I'd separate the lure that had a decent action until I had 6 or 7 of them, and then we'd go out in the boat and we'd run them on Rock Lake.
Wow.
And we just iterated and iterated and iterated, and then my son's a mechanical engineer, and when we got really close with the OG1, I had him run a fluid dynamics simulation on the lure. And what we wanted with the lure was real instability, not just working about 2 axes, but working about 3. And with the design of the OG1, we actually had an area of 0 pressure around the tail of the lure, which resulted in the unique action and instability. So that's, in a nutshell, what happened there.
Yep. And that lure instability was what you were striving for,
Correct.
Knowing that fish love things that are not routine.
Right.
They become mesmerized if something keeps doing this all day.
Right.
But when it does this,
Right.
then that's the key. And it's the same thing with the WiggleFin.
Yeah.
That lure instability.
I call it better fishing through chaos.
Better fishing
I like
through
that.
chaos.
I like that.
All right. Well, that's the key word, because we're waiting for those rods to turn into chaos. So let's wait for this bite to reappear.